is good, YDPTV? It's your boy Allen21, and today we got a top 10 basketball YouTubers hoop list. You know, if you haven't checked out our other hoopest tier list, go check those out. And let's get it. Let's get right into it. At number 10, we got Annoying TV. I mean, everyone who watches YouTube knows this man is the worst basketball YouTuber out of everyone. And you know, he played Flight and he just straight bricked. Couldn't even guard Flight, you know? So let me start roasting and get into his attributes. Shooting, we gave him a D-. Rebounding, a D. Handles, D. Finishing, D. Even his defense, a D. So that's how you know he's bad. Let's get into the next one. B-Bar Room. You know, he been wanting to be on a tier list, you know, so we put him on the hoop one, because you know he's number 9 because he hasn't played any IRLs. No one's posted any IRLs about him, so you know we can't judge him off anything. So we just put him at 9, you know. So for shooting, we gave him a C. His stats are all guesses because we haven't seen anything. Rebounding, we gave him a C+. Handles, we gave him an F. Finishing, C. And defense, D. Next up, we got Troydan at number 8. You know, he doesn't do a lot of basketball. You know, he loves playing 2K most of the time. He does a lot of those videos. But from the videos that he has posted playing IRL basketball, you know, we thought we would put him at 8 after watching all of them. So we put it for shooting, we give him a C-. Rebounding, C+. Handles, C. His finishing, you know, he's pretty big. So we gave him C-. And defense, we gave him a D. At the number 7 spot, we got the man Polo 5. You know, he's been popping up in a lot of conversations lately about basketball and tier lists. So we put him at the number 7 spot, you know. He had one IRL that he posted. The dude he played was you know, but we can't judge him off that game. I mean, he did alright. So for shooting, we give him C+. Rebounding, we give him C-. Handles, a C. Finishing, also a C. And defense, a D, because, you know, man's little. The number 6 spot, we got the man LNU. Well, everyone in the YouTube basketball community knows LNU, you know, played a lot of 1v1s against NBA players too, and YouTubers. And he lost almost all of them. And he probably got broken in almost all of them too. His ankles were taken in almost all of them. He played a lot of IRL games, but judging off of those, we gave him for shooting a C+, rebounding gave him a D, handles a D+, finishing C-, defense and F. You know, he should be lower on this list, but we just thought we would put him at the 6th spot. At number 5, we have HankDa Tank. The only IRL that I've seen with him is the one with Mopey. He played Mopey and took the L. It was a really close game. You know, they were both going at it, both breaking a lot too. But after watching that one, man, it's tough, you know, because he lost to Mopey out of all people. So he has to be number 5 on that hoop list. Shooting, we gave him a C. Rebounding, C. Average height, you know. Handles, C+. he has those average handles, you know. He has no package equipped. Finishing, game C. Defense, C plus. So Hank is like average player because he has all C's. And we got Mopey on this list at the number 4 spot. You know, he beat Hank, so he should be higher than him. So it's fair. He's in the basketball group called 2 Hype. You know, a lot of people watch him. He even played Flight IRL 1-on-1. It was a close game. And, you know, watching all his IRLs, you know, I think he deserves the number 4 spot. You know, he been putting in the work lately. And, you know, he's been improving. So for shooting, we get him C plus. Rebounding, C plus. Handles, we get him C. Could use a little help. Finishing, game C. Also, he got that spin cycle on him. And defense is pretty average, so we get him a C. At the number 3 spot, we got Agent. You know, he's part of the group AMG, I believe it's called. He plays with Duke Dennis, you know, who's a pretty good basketball player. And, you know, there's not a lot to go out off of him for IRL basketball, but after watching what he does have online on the YouTube, you know, we think he could take the number 3 spot. I feel like he can beat all the other players, you know. He's been working out too. He's been putting in that work. So for shooting, we gave him C plus, rebounding a C plus, his handles C plus, finishing a C plus, defense we gave him a B minus because, you know, he's been working out, like I said. Next up, we got lospollos. You know, he hasn't been posting lately any basketball videos, you know, just doing gaming and stuff. But, you know, he was part of 2 Hype at one point, and he could shoot lights out back then. But we don't know if he still can, if he still got it, you know. But judging off back then, all his other IRLs, we gave him shooting a B, rebounding C minus. He's pretty short. Handles C plus, finishing C plus, and defense C plus. He's a little bit higher than average, but like all around average player. And at the number 1 spot, we got I'm Davis. You know, he's part of AMG too. He's a good player. He has potential to be hooper. He needs to put in that work though, you know. He has to if he wants to make it to a hooper tier. You know, from videos, we give him a C plus for shooting, C plus for rebounding, handles and finishing all have C plus. That's pretty good. And defense is average, so we gave him a C. You know, just throw it out there. You know, I feel like he could beat all the other players on this list. You know, he has been improving, so we'll see. And that's gonna wrap up this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Hit that notification bell. And YDP TV, we out. Gang.